Okay, so this was back when I was still really, really young. And I still believed that the Undertaker was like this magical zombie. And so I wanted to get his autograph. And so I wrote a letter to him addressed to Death Valley. And it couldn't be sent because, obviously, Death Valley isn't an address. So I was writing a new letter. And this was one of the storylines where Undertaker dies, right? I watched that episode of Raw, SmackDown, whatever it was. And I just started bawling. I remember I walked back to this letter I was writing. I crumpled it up. I threw it away. And I wrote a letter to Mrs. Undertaker saying how sorry I was for her loss. And I hope that's it. And I remember that I said, since he's a zombie, I hope he'll come back one day. But if he doesn't, I hope that you find a new Undertaker. I addressed that to WWE headquarters this time. And I sent that in. And sure enough, 2-3 months later, I got a letter back from WWE, not from Undertaker or anything, but just from WWE. It had a signed picture of Undertaker addressed to me, and I was like, wait a minute. If Undertaker's dead, how did he address this to me? And that, it was my Tooth Fairy isn't real, Santa isn't real moment with wrestling.
That's how you found out wrestling wasn't real. That the dead Undertaker wrote you a letter. I mean, you got to learn somehow. Usually it's your parents or a friend, but for you, it was deduction. Well-reasoned deduction. I loved how you sent a letter to Mrs. Undertaker, like she was Mrs. Claus or something. I got a newsflash for you, buddy. There was tons of Mrs. Undertakers. Joke's on you. You didn't even know who you were sending it to. Could have been hundreds of them. I think I was more impressed that they sent you back an autograph. I felt I sent letters to hundreds of people over the years. No one ever sent anything back, except Sean Rooks of the Dallas Mavericks. He once sent me a card back. Bless his heart, he's now passed, but I think I shared that story on Twitter with his child, and I made his kid feel good. So hopefully this caller made Undertaker's kid feel good. Michelle, put away the guns. We got company. That call was part of a whole podcast called Wrestling Anonymous. Listen to the whole thing weekly. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go subscribe. While you're at it, subscribe right here on YouTube to Colt Cabana's channel. Thank you.